the man on my porch wears a charcoal suit that costs more than my monthly pension. Snow dusts his shoulders. His briefcase gleams under the porch light. Mrs. Nain Cresswell. His voice cuts through the December cold. That's me. I step aside. The hinges creak. Please come in. Behind me, someone gasps. I don't turn around. Not yet. I want to savor this. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. The stranger crosses my threshold, bringing winter air and the scent of expensive cologne. His shoes leave wet prints on the hardwood. The hardwood Darian refinished last spring without asking me first. Mom. My son's voice cracks like river ice. Who is this? Now I turn. Darian stands frozen in the hallway, one hand gripping the door frame. His face has gone the color of old newspaper. Beside him, his wife, Rian, clutches her wine glass so hard I hear the stem creak. The turkey smell from the kitchen suddenly seems too sweet. Cloying. This is Quentin Merrick, I say. My voice sounds steadier than my hands feel. He's an attorney, estate planning specialist. The grandfather clock ticks once, twice, 3 times. Rihanna's mother, Vivian, emerges from the living room in her white silk blouse. Always white, always pristine. She looks at Quentin the way you'd look at a stain on expensive fabric. An attorney? Rian's voice climbs higher. Mother Nain, why would you invite an attorney to Christmas dinner? I smile. The same smile I used to give 4th graders who thought they could hide their copied homework. Because Mr. Merrick and I have been working together for 3 months. I pause, let that sink in, and since we have important family matters to discuss tonight, I thought it would be efficient to handle everything at once. Quentin extends his hand toward Darian. You must be Mrs. Cresswell's son. Darian doesn't move. His hand stays frozen at his side. The heating vent kicks on. Warm air rushes through the register, but nobody looks warmer. What kind of family matters? Vivian steps forward. Her heels click against the floor. Click, click, click. Like a countdown. I meet her eyes. She's called me Noreen twice tonight already. Wrong name. Doesn't care enough to remember the right one. The kind that involves significant assets, Quentin says. His tone stays professional, calm, and complicated family dynamics. When Mrs. Cresswell contacted my firm, she was very specific about wanting everything documented properly. Documented. Darian finds his voice. It sounds like sandpaper. Mom, what are you talking about? I move toward the dining room. My emerald dress, the one Kelton bought me for our 30th anniversary, swishes against my legs. I haven't worn it in 5 years. Tonight felt like the right occasion. Why don't we all sit down? I gesture toward the table. The good Wedgwood china gleams under the chandelier. The turkey's getting cold. Nobody moves. Outside wind rattles the windows. The Christmas tree lights blink in the living room. Red, green, gold, red, green, gold. Mother Nain. Ryan sets her wine glass on the hall table. Her hand shakes just slightly. What's going on? I look at her. Really look at her. At the cream cashmere sweater that probably cost $300. At the diamond earrings Darian bought her last month. Put them on my credit card without asking. At the perfect makeup that can't quite hide the tightness around her mouth. What's going on? I say quietly. Is that I found the brochure? Darian closes his eyes. The one for Stonegate Senior Living. My voice stays level, steady. The one tucked in your coat pocket. The one with a note about March openings and private rooms and full care. Rian's face goes blank. Completely blank. Like someone wiped it clean. I also spoke with my bank. I watched Darian's shoulders stiffen. Turns out there have been some interesting transactions on my accounts. Small ones. $50 here, $100 there. Nothing I'd normally notice, but over 14 months, it adds up. The silence feels thick enough to touch. Quentin clears his throat. Perhaps we should sit. How much? Darian's eyes snap open. How much do you think is missing? I don't think anything. I pull the bank statement from my pocket. The paper crackles as I unfold it. I know exactly how much. $5,847. Vivian inhales sharply. And I went through the files in the study. I keep going. Can't stop now. Won't stop now. Found some very interesting paperwork. Transfer of deed documents. Medical proxy forms all filled out, all waiting for my signature. Darian's hand drops from the doorframe. There was a timeline, too. I fold the bank statement back up. Slow, deliberate, very detailed. Phase 1, establish decline narrative. Phase 2, secure medical proxy. Phase 3, transfer assets. Phase 4, placement by March 15th. Rian backs up a step. Her heel catches on the rug. Mom, I can explain. Darian starts. Can you? I tilt my head. Kanye, can you explain why you've been stealing from me? Can you explain why you've been telling people I'm confused? Declining. Can you explain why you want to lock me away in a nursing home so you can take my house? My voice cracks on the last word. Just slightly. Quentin steps forward. Mrs. Cresswell has made several important changes to her estate plan over the past 3 months. Changes that protect her interests and her assets. He sets his briefcase on the hall table. The latches click open loud in the silence. Changes that ensure he continues pulling out a thick folder that no one can take advantage of her again. Darian's face has gone from white to gray. What kind of changes? Vivian's voice sounds different now, worried. I smile again. This time it doesn't feel forced. Why don't we sit down? I repeat. Have dinner, be civilized, and then Mr. Merrick can explain exactly what protections I put in place. I turn toward the dining room. At my seat, the head of the table sits a manila folder. The folder with everything I've discovered. The folder with everything I've documented. The folder that's going to change everything. After all, I say over my shoulder, isn't Christmas about family coming together? But what I found in Darian's office 3 months ago started this whole thing. 12 weeks before that doorbell rang, I found the brochure in Darian's wool coat. I wasn't snooping. The coat was dripping on my clean floor. I hung it in the closet and something crinkled in the pocket. Just papers, probably receipts. Darian never remembered to throw away receipts, but my fingers touched glossy cardstock. I pulled it out. Stonegate Senior Living smiled up at me in cheerful photographs. Old people playing bingo. Old people painting watercolors. Old people sitting in rocking chairs staring at nothing. My hand started shaking. A sticky note clung to the front page. Rian's handwriting. I recognized the loopy RS and the way she dotted her I's with little circles. March opening, private room, full care package. I think it's time. The words blurred. I blinked hard. Time. Time for what? I was 68, not 90. I cooked. I cleaned. I drove myself to the grocery store every Wednesday. I volunteered at the library every Thursday morning, reading to kindergartners who sat cross-legged and wide-eyed while I did the voices. What did she mean, time? My breakfast turned to stone in my stomach. I looked at the brochure again. Someone, Rian probably, had circled the monthly Austin red pen. $7,000 per month. My teacher's pension was $2,000 a month. The math didn't work. Unless they planned to sell my house. The house Kelton and I bought in 1983. The house where we brought Darian home from the hospital. The house where Kelton died in our bedroom, holding my hand, telling me he loved me one last time. My house. I stood in the closet for a long time. The coat dripped. Drip. 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 Then I folded the brochure carefully. Put it back exactly where I found it. Hung the coat on the third hook from the left. Same as always. My heart hammered against my ribs. That night, Darian came home late. He kissed my cheek. Same as always. And asked what was for dinner. Meatloaf, I said. My voice sounded normal. I don't know how. Smells great, Mom. He loosened his tie. Rianne's working late again. Big presentation tomorrow. I set the table. Fork on the left, knife and spoon on the right. Same as I'd done for 40 years. We ate in silence. Darian checked his phone between bites. Mom? He looked up. You okay? You seem quiet. Just tired. I pushed peas around my plate. Long day. He nodded, went back to his phone. After dinner, he retreated to the study. The room that used to be Kelton's office. The room Darian had claimed last year. Moving in his laptop and his files and his important papers. I washed the dishes. The water ran hot enough to turn my hands red. Through the kitchen wall, I heard Darian's voice, muffled, talking to someone. I dried my hands, moved closer to the wall. Not ready yet, he was saying. She's still too independent. We need more documentation. Silence. I know. Your mom thinks we're waiting too long. My breath caught. Rian. And she's not declining fast enough. If we push now, she'll fight it. The floor creaked under my feet. The study door opened. Darian stood there, phone still at his ear. Mom. He looked startled. I didn't hear you. Just putting things away. I held up the dish towel like evidence. Don't mind me. He watched me shuffle toward the stairs. I made sure to shuffle. Made sure to grip the railing like I needed it. From behind me, I heard him close the study door, heard the lock click. He'd never locked that door before. In my bedroom, I sat on the edge of my bed. The mattress sagged in the same spot it had sagged for 20 years. Kelton's side still felt empty. I stared at the wedding photo on my nightstand. We looked so young, so happy, so certain that life would be fair. They want to put me away, I whispered to Kelton's frozen smile. Our son wants to put me in a home. The photograph didn't answer, but I knew what Kelton would say. He'd say fight. He'd say don't let them win. He'd say you're stronger than you think, Nain. I opened my nightstand drawer, found the little address book I'd kept since 1975. Flipped to the L's. Lenora Martinez. She'd been in my 4th grade class in 1992. Smart as a whip, went on to become a bank manager at First National. I hadn't talked to her in years, but tomorrow I would. Tomorrow, I'd find out exactly what else my son had been doing. I walk into First National Bank on a Tuesday morning. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead like trapped insects. Everything smells like coffee and carpet cleaner. Lenora sits behind the third desk from the door. She's 50 now, but I still see the 9-year-old who used to stay after class to help me clean the chalkboard erasers. Mrs. Cresswell. She stands up smiling. Then she sees my face. The smile falters. Is everything okay? I need to review my account activity. My purse strap cuts into my shoulder. All of it going back 2 years. She gestures to the chair across from her desk. The leather is cold through my slacks. Of course. Her fingers fly across the keyboard. Click, click, click. Just give me a moment to pull everything up. I watch her face. Watch the way her eyes narrow at the screen. Watch the way her jaw tightens. Mrs. Cresswell. Her voice drops lower. When was the last time you checked your statements? I get them every month. My throat feels tight. I look at them. Do you review every transaction? The big ones, the important ones. Lenora turns her monitor toward me. Numbers fill the screen in neat columns. These withdrawals here. She points. Her nail polish is chipped. And here. And here. Do you recognize these? $53. ATM withdrawal. October 12th. $78. ATM withdrawal. October 19th. $42. ATM withdrawal October 28th. No. The word comes out like broken glass. She scrolls down. More withdrawals, different amounts. Always under $100. Always from ATMs scattered across the county. How far back do they go? I ask. Lenora scrolls and scrolls and scrolls. 14 months. She stops scrolling, looks at me. Mrs. Cresswell, do you have your debit card with you? I dig through my purse. Find my wallet. The card sits in its slot right where it should be. It's here, I say. Have you ever given anyone else access to your account? Joint account holder, power of attorney. No, just me. It's always been just me since Kelton died. Lenora's fingers dance across the keyboard again. She prints something. The printer roars and spits out 3 pages. She hands them to me. Transaction after transaction. 50 here, 90 there. 3562.81. The total, Lenora says quietly, is $5,847. The papers shake in my hands. Someone's been using a duplicate card. She leans forward. Do you live alone? No. My voice sounds far away. My son lives with me and his wife. Does your son have access to your wallet? The kitchen counter where I leave my purse every day. The same spot every single day. Yes, I whisper. Lenora reaches across the desk, squeezes my hand. Her palm is warm. Mrs. Cresswell, I need to ask you something and I need you to be honest with me. She pauses. Are you safe in your home? The question sits between us like a third person. Am I safe? My son is stealing from me, planning to lock me away, taking what I worked 40 years to save. I don't know, I say. Lenora pulls her hand back, opens a drawer, takes out a business card. This is my personal cell number. She writes on the back. You call me anytime, day or night. I take the card. It feels heavy. We need to file a fraud report. She continues. Close this account. Open a new one with a different card number today. If I do that, Darian will know I found out. Mrs. Cresswell as a not yet. I stand up. My knees protest. I need time. I need to understand what else he's done. This is financial abuse. We have protocols by 1 week. I grip my purse. Give me 1 week. Then I'll file the report. I promise. Lenora doesn't look happy, but she nods. I make it to my car before my hands start shaking so hard I can't get the key in the ignition. $5,847. 14 months of theft. My own son. The steering wheel is cold under my forehead. I press against it, trying to breathe, trying to think. 1 week, I told Lenora. 1 week to find out what else they've hidden. Because if Darian stole money, what else has he taken? I drive home on autopilot, park in my usual spot, walk through my front door. Rian sits in my living room drinking my tea from my favorite mug. Mother Nain. She sets the mug down. Money. Where were you? I was worried. Liar. Her eyes aren't worried. They're calculating. Just errands, I say. You should tell us when you go out. She stands up, smooths her skirt. What if something happened? What if you fell? We wouldn't know where to find you. I'm perfectly capable of running errands. Of course you are. That smile again. The one that doesn't reach her eyes. But at your age, it's better to be careful. Maybe Darian or I should drive you places just to be safe. Safe? That word again. I'll think about it. I say. She leaves the room. I hear her footsteps on the stairs. Hear the bedroom door close. I look at the mug she left on my coffee table. My favorite mug. The one Kelton gave me on our 10th anniversary. She didn't use a coaster. There's a ring on the wood. I pick up the mug. Still warm. Then I walk to the study. The locked study. Darian won't be home for 3 more hours. I have time. I just need to find the key. The key hangs in the kitchen right in front of me for the past year. On the little hook rack by the back door between the spare car key and the garage key is a small silver key I thought belonged to the shed. It doesn't. I know because I tried the shed key last month when the lock stuck. That key is still on my gardening keychain in the drawer. This silver key has been here for months, maybe longer. My hand shakes as I take it off the hook. The house is quiet. Too quiet. I hear every creak of the floorboards, every tick of the grandfather clock, every breath I take. The study door looks the same as always. Dark wood, brass handle. I slide the key into the lock. It turns click. The sound feels too loud. I push the door open. It swings on hinges that don't squeak. Darian oiled them last week. I watched him do it. Didn't think anything of it then. Now I think he wanted to come and go without me hearing. The study smells like Darian's cologne and old paper. His laptop sits closed on the desk. File boxes line the shelves. The same shelves where Kelton kept his fishing magazines and old tax returns. I start with the desk drawers. First drawer, pens, paper clips, sticky notes. Nothing unusual. Second drawer, file folders, labeled in Rian's handwriting. Utilities, insurance, repairs. I pull out the insurance folder. My homeowner's policy is inside. But there's another document clipped to it. A quote from a real estate agent. Estimated market value of my house, $435,000. My vision blurs. Kelton and I bought this house for $68,000 in 1983. Below the quote, someone Rian again has written calculations in the margin. $435K minus outstanding mortgage 0 equals $435K equity minus capital gains tax equals approximate $385K net Stonegate deposit $50K plus first year $84K equals $134K leaves $251K for investment. They've already spent my house in their minds, it's already gone. I set the folder aside with shaking hands. Third drawer. More files. Medical, household, legal. I pull out legal. Inside are documents I've never seen before. Transfer of deed form. My name printed at the top. The transferring to line filled out. Darian Cresswell. My signature line is blank. Waiting. Medical power of attorney form. Same thing. My name Darian listed as primary agent. Signature line blank. Living will. Advance directive. All filled out. All waiting for my signature. There's a sticky note on top of the stack. Phase 1. Establish decline narrative in progress. Phase 2, medical proxy waiting for signature. Phase 3, asset transfer, waiting for C signature. Phase 4, placement by March 15th, pending. I have to read it 3 times before it sinks in. They have a plan, a 4-phase plan to take everything. My hands won't stop shaking. I pull out my phone. The simple flip phone Darian says is cute, but keeps suggesting I upgrade. I take pictures. Every document, every note, every calculation. The camera click sounds like gunshots in the quiet room. I'm putting the legal folder back when I see another box on the top shelf. It's pushed far back, hidden behind old accounting textbooks. I drag the desk chair over, climb up. My knees protest, but I ignore them. The box is heavy. I nearly drop it getting it down. Inside are more files, and these are worse. Medical records. My medical records from Dr. Hassan's office. How did Darian get these? There are notes in the margins. Forgetfulness mentioned. Page 3. Confusion about medication. Page 7. I read page 3. Last April, I told Dr. Hassan, I forgot where I parked at the grocery store one time. On page 7, I asked if I should take my blood pressure pill in the morning or evening because I couldn't remember what he'd said during the appointment. Normal questions, but someone has highlighted them, circled them, made them sound like evidence of decline. There's a draft letter underneath addressed to Dr. Hassan from Darian. Dear Dr. Hassan, I'm writing to express concerns about my mother's cognitive state. She has been exhibiting increasing forgetfulness and confusion over the past several months. I worry that she may no longer be capable of living independently or managing her own affairs. Would you be willing to provide a written assessment of her mental capacity? This would help us make decisions about her care going forward. The letter is dated 2 weeks ago. It was never sent, still a draft, but he wrote it. He was going to ask my doctor to declare me incompetent. The papers slip from my fingers. They scatter across the desk like snow. I climb down from the chair. My legs feel like water. In the back of the box, there's one more folder. Title, Search Results. I open it. It's a report on my house. Property boundaries, ownership history. And at the bottom, highlighted in yellow, outstanding lien, $40,000. Creditor, First Community Bank. Date filed, September 18th. Borrower, Darian Cresswell. $40,000. Darian took out a loan against my house. I never signed anything. Never authorized anything. How is that even legal? Unless he forged my signature. The room tilts. I grip the edge of the desk. My son is a thief. My son is a forger. My son is planning to have me declared incompetent, take my house and lock me in a nursing home, and his wife is helping him do it. I photograph everything, every single page. My phone's memory fills up. I delete old pictures, photos of flowers of the library kids of nothing important to make room. Then I put everything back exactly where I found it. Box on the shelf, files in the drawers, chair in its spot. I lock the study door, hang the key back on its hook, walk to my bedroom on legs that don't feel like mine. I sit on my bed, the same bed I've slept in for 20 years, the bed where Kelton died. My phone feels heavy in my pocket. I pull it out, stare at the screen. Then I dial the number on the business card Lenora gave me, not Lenora's number. The other one, the one printed on the front. Merrick and Associates. A woman's voice, professional, calm. How may I help you? My mouth is dry. I swallow. Try again. I need to speak with an attorney, I say. About elder financial abuse. I dial the number twice before I can make myself press the call button. Merrick and Associates, how may I help you? The receptionist sounds young, cheerful. I need my voice cracks. I clear my throat. I need to speak with someone about financial abuse, elder abuse. The cheerfulness dims. Of course. May I ask who referred you? Lenora Martinez from First National Bank. One moment, please. Classical music fills my ear. Something soft. Piano. It doesn't match the hammering of my heart. I'm sitting in my car in the library parking lot. I told Rihanna and I had volunteer reading time. I do in 45 minutes. But right now, I need to make this call where no one can hear me. This is Quentin Merrick, a man's voice, warm but professional. I understand you were referred by Lenora Martinez. Yes, I'm Nain Cresswell. I taught Lenora in 4th grade. Mrs. Cresswell, what can I do for you today? Where do I even start? My son is stealing from me. The words tumble out. And planning to put me in a nursing home so he can take my house. And I found documents and a loan I never signed for. And they have a plan. A 4-phase plan. Silence on the other end. Then, Mrs. Cresswell, I'd like to meet with you in person. How soon can you come to my office? I'm reading to children in an hour. After that, I'm supposed to go home and make dinner. Do you feel safe going home? The same question Lenora asked. I don't know, I whisper. Can you come to my office after your volunteer work? We're at 4012 Maple Street, 2nd floor. I'll wait for you. Okay. Mrs. Cresswell, bring everything you found, every document, every photograph, everything. I took pictures on my phone. Perfect. I'll see you around 3 o'clock. Yes. I hang up. My hands are shaking so hard I drop the phone. It lands on the passenger seat. Through the windshield, I watch people walk into the library. Normal people having normal days, not people whose sons are planning to steal their entire lives. I make it through Storytime. I read Where the Wild Things Are to 17 kindergartners who sit cross-legged and wide-eyed. They don't notice that my voice shakes on some of the words. They don't notice that I have to wipe my eyes when Max comes home and finds his supper waiting for him, still hot. At 3 o'clock, I park in front of a brick building on Maple Street. The sign says American Associates in gold letters. The stairs to the 2nd floor are steep. My knees ache by the time I reach the top. The waiting room is small but nice. Leather chairs, magazines arranged in neat fans, a water cooler bubbling in the corner. The receptionist, the same cheerful voice from the phone, smiles at me. Mrs. Cresswell, Mr. Merrick is ready for you. She leads me down a short hallway, knocks on a door marked Q. Merrick, attorney at law. Come in, calls that warm voice. Quentin Merrick is younger than I expected, maybe 45. Saw dark hair going gray at the temples, kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He stands when I enter, extends his hand. Miss Cresswell, thank you for coming. His handshake is firm but gentle. Please sit. He gestures to a chair across from his desk. Can I get you coffee? Water. Water, please. He pours from a picture on his desk, hands me a glass. I take a sip. The water is cold and settles my stomach slightly. Tell me everything, he says. Start wherever feels right. So, I do. I tell him about the brochure, the phone call I overheard, the bank account, the study, the documents, the forged loan, the 4-phase plan. He listens without interrupting, just nods, takes notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finish, my throat is raw. He sets his pen down, leans back in his chair. Mrs. Cresswell, may I see the photographs you took? I hand him my phone. He scrolls through the images. His jaw gets tighter with each one. This loan, he says, pointing at the title search photo. You never signed for it. Never. That's forgery and fraud. He scrolls more. These medical records. Did you authorize their release to your son? No. That's a HIPAA violation. More scrolling. And this transfer of deed form. If you'd signed this without fully understanding it, while under duress or due to alleged incompetence they were manufacturing, that would be undue influence at minimum, potentially criminal exploitation. My water glass trembles in my hand. Mrs. Cresswell. He looks at me over his glasses. This is bad. This is very bad. But he pauses. It's also fixable if we act quickly. How? First, we protect your assets because close the compromised bank account, open a new one at a different bank, one your son doesn't know about. We file a fraud report on the loan. We change all your passwords. We get you a new debit card, new checks, everything. I nod. My head feels too heavy. Second, we establish your mental competency. I'll arrange for an independent cognitive assessment. We document that you are fully capable of managing your own affairs. That destroys their decline narrative. Okay. Third, we create new estate planning documents, a new will, a revocable living trust, a power of attorney that names someone you trust, not your son, someone independent. I don't have anyone. The words hurt coming out. It's just Darian. He's all I have. Quentin's expression softens. We can name a professional trustee. Someone whose job is to protect your interests. Would that work? Yes. And fourth. He pauses. Fourth, we need to decide what you want to do about your son. The question sits between us. What are my options? I ask. You could file criminal charges, forgery, fraud, financial exploitation of an elderly person. He could go to jail. I think of Darian at 5 years old crying when his pet hamster died. Darian at 12 so proud when he made the basketball team. Darian at 23 holding Kelton's hand in the hospital, tears streaming down his face. What else? I whisper. You could file a civil suit, demand restitution, get a restraining order, force him to move out of your house, and... Or Quentin leans forward. Or we put protections in place that make it impossible for him to continue. We don't tell him what we've done. We wait, and when he makes his next move, we're ready. What kind of move? Based on this timeline, they're planning something for March. Probably an intervention. They'll try to pressure you to sign documents, to agree to Stonegate, to hand over control. And if we wait, we document everything. We gather evidence. And when they show their hand, we show ours with witnesses, with proof, with legal consequences, ready to deploy. I think about this, about catching Darren in the act, about making him face what he's done. How long would we have to wait? I ask. It's November now. If their timeline says March, that's 4 months. I can't live in that house with him for 4 more months knowing what I know. You wouldn't be helpless. You'd be protected, your assets secured, your rights documented. And Mrs. Cresswell, he looks at me steadily. You'd be in control. For the first time since this started, you'd have the power. Power? I haven't felt powerful in a long time. What would we do first? I ask. Quentin picks up his phone. First, I make some calls. We get you that cognitive assessment this week. We set up your new bank account tomorrow. We draft your new estate documents by next week. And then he smiles slightly. Then we wait for them to make their move. And when they do, we make ours. I set my water glass down. My hands have stopped shaking. Okay, I say. Let's do it. One more thing. His expression turns serious. Mrs. Cresswell, at any point during this process, if you feel unsafe, if anything escalates, you call me immediately, day or night. You have my word that I will help you. Do you understand? Yes. He writes his cell number on the back of his business card, slides it across the desk. I take it. The card is still warm from his hand. We're going to fix this, he says. I promise. I want to believe him. I think maybe I do. But as I drive home back to the house where my son is waiting, I can't help wondering what happens when Darian figures out what I've done. The camera arrives on a Wednesday. I tell Darian it's a video doorbell for security. The box even says so. I made sure of that when Quentin ordered it. That's actually a good idea, Mom. Darian helps me unpack it. You're being smart about safety. If only he knew. He installs it himself, mounts it right by the front door, shows me how the app works on my phone. See, you can see who's at the door before you open it, and it records everything. Thank you, sweetheart. I pat his arm. He has no idea there are 3 more cameras hidden in the house. Quentin's security installed them yesterday while Darren was at work. One in the living room bookshelf, one in the kitchen disguised as a clock, one in the hallway tucked into a smoke detector. All recording, all saving to a cloud account Darian doesn't know exists. The cognitive assessment came back on Monday. Dr. Patricia Okonkwo spent 3 hours testing me. Memory games, logic puzzles, questions about current events, and basic math. Mrs. Cresswell, she said at the end, your cognitive function is completely normal for your age. Better than normal, actually. Your memory is sharp. Your reasoning is sound. There is absolutely no evidence of decline. She put it in writing. Quentin has the report in his files now. My new bank account is at Cascade Regional across town. Darian doesn't even know it exists. I transferred everything except $500 from the old account, just enough that Darian won't notice anything wrong when he checks because I know he checks. On Thursday, I pretend to take a nap on the living room couch. I lie very still, breathe slowly and deeply. Through barely open eyes, I watch Darian come home early. He thinks I'm asleep. He kisses Rannan in the hallway. Their voices drop to whispers. Is she napping again? Rihanna asks. Yeah, she's been doing that a lot lately. Good. That helps the narrative. They move into the kitchen. I hear the refrigerator open, the clink of glasses. I talk to Dr. Hassan's office. Darian says they won't release her records without her written consent. So, get her to sign the form. She's not stupid, Rianne. And she'll ask why. Tell her it's for insurance. Tell her Medicare needs them. I don't care. We need that documentation. Ice cubes rattle into glasses. My mom's coming out for Christmas. Rian continues. We should do it then. Present a united front. 2 against 1. She's going to fight it. Not if we do it right. Not if we frame it as concern, as love. Rian's voice gets closer. She must be walking toward the living room. I keep my eyes closed. Keep my breathing steady. Look at her. Rihanna whispers. Sleeping in the middle of the day. That's not normal, Darian. A healthy 68-year-old doesn't nap like this. She's tired. She volunteers. She cooks. She's declining. And the longer we wait, the harder this gets. Silence. Then Darren. Okay. Christmas. We'll do it. Christmas. I'll have my mother there as backup. Professional, successful, put together. It'll be obvious who should be making decisions. What if Mom says no? Then we move to Plan B. We talk to her doctor directly. We express concerns about her safety. We push harder. More footsteps. They move away back toward the kitchen. I wait 5 minutes. Then I let my eyes open fully. The camera in the bookshelf recorded everything. Video and audio. I have them now. That night, I send the video file to Quentin from my laptop. The old laptop Kelton bought me years ago. The one Darian thinks I barely know how to use. His response comes back within an hour. This is exactly what we needed. They're planning the confrontation for Christmas. We'll be ready. Over the next 3 weeks, I catch them 4 more times. Once discussing how to convince me that I forgot to pay my electric bill. They plan to hide the payment confirmation. And then act concerned when the late notice arrives. Except I already set up autopay through my new account. Once rehearsing what Darian will say during the Christmas intervention, he practices in front of the bathroom mirror. Mom, we love you. This isn't about control. This is about keeping you safe. The word safe makes my stomach turn every time. Once counting money in their bedroom. I watch through the camera feed on my phone as Rian stacks bills on their dresser. Almost 6,000 now, she says. Once we have the house, we won't need to skim anymore. Once on the phone with Stonegate, confirming a March 15th move-in date. Yes, my mother-in-law. Memory issues, cognitive decline. We're working on getting her assessed. The deposit will be wired as soon as the house sale closes. Every conversation gets saved. Every file gets backed up. Every piece of evidence goes into Quentin's growing case file. On December 10th, Ryan announces that Vivian is flying in for Christmas. She's so excited to spend the holidays with family, Ryan says over dinner. She doesn't look at me when she says it. That's wonderful, I say. I'll make sure we have enough food. Oh, don't worry about that, Mother Nain. I've ordered a catered dinner. You just relax. I always cook Christmas dinner. I know, but you've been so tired lately. I thought I'd take some of the burden off you. Burden, another word that appears a lot now. I want to cook, I say firmly. Darian and Ryan exchange a look. Okay, Mom. Darian's voice has that careful quality like he's talking to a child. If you want to cook, you can cook. Thank you. That night, I call Quentin. They're making their move at Christmas dinner. I tell him, Ryan's mother will be here. They're planning to gang up on me. Then we make our move, too. He says, how would you feel about a Christmas dinner guest? What do you mean? I mean I show up at 5 o'clock with a briefcase full of evidence and legal documents. We end this right there in front of everyone. My heart hammers. You do that. Mrs. Cresswell, what they're planning to do to you is cruel. It's calculated and it's illegal. You have every right to confront them. The question is, are you ready? Am I ready? I think about Kelton. About the house we built together, about the life Darian is trying to steal. Yes, I say. I'm ready. Then let's give them a Christmas they'll never forget. 2 weeks until Christmas. 2 weeks until everything changes. I start cooking early, making lists, planning the menu, acting like everything is normal. But every night, I watch the camera footage. Every night I see them plot and plan and scheme. And every night I add one more piece of evidence to the file that's going to destroy their plans. Ryan has no idea that when she invited her mother to witness my intervention, she actually invited a witness to her own downfall. Mother Nain, we need to talk about the seating arrangement. Ryan stands in my kitchen 2 weeks before Christmas holding a notepad covered in her perfect handwriting. I'm rolling out pie dough. Flour dust hangs in the air. What about it? I press the rolling pin harder than necessary. Well, my mother is used to formal dinners. Head of table protocol. I was thinking she should sit at the head. That's my seat. Ryan's smile doesn't waver. Of course. I just thought as a courtesy to our guest. It's my table in my house. I sit at the head. The smile finally cracks. Just a little. Fine. She makes a mark on her notepad. Darian and I will sit on either side of you. My mother across from Darian. That way I'm having another guest. I say. The pen stops moving. What? I invited someone to Christmas dinner. I fold the dough over itself. An old friend. He'll need a place at the table, too. Who? You'll meet him Christmas Day. Rihanna's jaw tightens. Mother Nain, I've planned this entire dinner. The timing, the presentation, She stops herself. Who is this person? An old friend, I repeat. Someone I reconnected with recently. You can't just add people without telling us. What if there's not enough food? I look at her, really look at her, at the cashmere sweater that probably cost more than my entire outfit. At the designer bag on my counter, at the wedding ring I watched Darian buy with money he stole from me. There will be enough food, I say quietly. I always make enough. She leaves the kitchen in a huff. I hear her heels clicking against the floor. Click, click, click. That night, I'm loading the dishwasher when I hear them in the living room. She's inviting people now. Rihanna's voice carries through the wall. Random people. It's probably Mrs. Chen from next door or someone from her book club. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Erratic behavior. Poor judgment. She can't even plan a simple dinner properly anymore. I stand very still. The dishwasher door drips soap onto my slippers. We're doing the right thing. Darian says she needs help. She needs structure. She needs Stonegate, and we need to make that happen before she does something really crazy like change her wool or give the house to some church. My hands grip the counter edge. She wouldn't do that, Darian says. But he sounds uncertain. Are you sure? Fine. Because the woman I know would never invite a stranger to Christmas dinner, would never fight me on seating arrangements. Something's different, Darian. Something's off. You're being paranoid. Am I? What if she's talked to someone? A lawyer? A financial advisor? Mom doesn't know any lawyers. What about that bank manager? The one from her teaching days. Lenora something. Silence. Then Darian. I'll check her phone records. Ice water floods my veins. Good. And I'm moving up the timeline. We're not waiting until after dinner. We're doing this before we eat. As soon as my mother arrives, Rianne and I, no, I'm not risking this. We present the Stonegate option. We present a united front. We get her signature on the medical proxy form. We do it early while she's still cooking, while she's distracted. Then it's done. What if she refuses? Then we show her the evidence. The unpaid bills, the ones we're hiding, the forgotten appointments we'll say she missed. The confused conversations we'll say she had. We make it clear that she can do this the easy way, or we can pursue a competency hearing. My vision blurs. That's harsh. Darian says, that's necessary. Your mother is sitting on a $400,000 asset while we're drowning in debt. That loan I took out has a balloon payment coming due in March. If we don't get this house on the market soon, we're going to lose everything. So that's it. They're not just greedy, they're desperate. Okay, Darian says finally. We do it your way early before dinner. I back away from the wall, move silently to my bedroom, close the door without letting it click. My phone is on the nightstand. I open the camera app, pull up the living room feed. They're sitting on my couch. Darian has his head in his hands. Rian is typing on her phone. I start recording. 10 minutes later, I have everything. The whole conversation, the changed timeline, the threat of a competency hearing, the admission about the loan's balloon payment. I send it to Quentin. His response comes fast. This changes things. They're accelerating. We need to accelerate, too. Can you meet tomorrow? I type back, library, 2 p.m. Reading room. I'll be there. The next day, I tell Ren I'm going to the library to pick up books for the children's reading program. Do you want Darian to drive you? She asks, her voice is sweet, concerned. No, thank you. I'm perfectly capable. Of course you are. I just worry. Liar. Quentin is waiting in the reading room when I arrive. He's wearing jeans and a sweater instead of his suit, trying to blend in. We sit at a corner table. He pulls out his tablet. They're moving the intervention to before dinner, he says quietly. Which means we need to move our response up, too. How? I arrive at 4:30 instead of 5 before Vivian gets there before they start their play. What do I do? You act normal. You cook. You play the perfect hostess. And when I ring the doorbell, you let me in. They'll be furious. Good. His eyes are hard. Let them be furious. Let them show their true colors in front of witnesses. What happens then? Then I present them with everything we have. The camera footage, the bank statements, the forged loan, the recorded conversations, all of it. And then I give them a choice. They can agree to repay every cent they stole, move out of your house, and attend mandatory family counseling with no guarantee you'll ever forgive them. Or I file criminal charges Monday morning. My hands are shaking. Criminal charges for what? Forgery, fraud, financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult, identity theft. We have evidence for all of it. He's my son. I know, Quentin's voice softens. And that makes this harder. But Mrs. Cresswell-Main, what he's doing to you is abuse. Planned, calculated, financial abuse. If you don't stop him now, he won't stop. I know he's right. I've known it for weeks. But hearing it out loud still feels like a punch to the stomach. Okay, I whisper. For 30 Christmas Day. Are you sure? I think about Kelton, about how he'd react if he knew his son, our son, was doing this. He'd be heartbroken, but he'd also say, protect yourself, Maine. Don't let anyone take what we built. I'm sure, I say. Quentin reaches across the table, squeezes my hand. You're incredibly brave. I don't feel brave. I feel terrified. But I nod anyway. That night, Darian comes home with a folder. Mom, I need you to sign something. My heart stops. What is it? Just a medical records release for insurance purposes. The lie is so smooth, so practiced. What insurance? Your Medicare supplement. They need your records from Dr. Hassan to process next year's coverage. I take the folder, open it. It's the medical proxy form, the one I saw in the study weeks ago. This isn't a records release, I say. This is a power of attorney. Darian's face flushes. It's a combined form. The records release is on page 2. There is no page 2. Mom, I'm not signing this. You have to. Medicare requires. Then Medicare can send me their own forms. I hand the folder back. I'm not signing something I don't understand. He stares at me. Really stares like he's seeing me for the first time in months. You're being difficult, he says. Finally. I'm being careful. He leaves the kitchen. I hear him on the phone in the study. Hear Rian's name. Hear my name. Hear the word suspicious. They know something's changed. They just don't know what yet. 6 days until Christmas. 6 days until everything explodes. The turkey goes into the oven at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning. My hands don't shake as I baste it. Don't shake as I peel potatoes and dice onions for the stuffing. Don't shake when Rihanna comes downstairs at 8 and wrinkles her nose. You're cooking already. Turkey takes hours. I close the oven door. You know that I told you I could order everything catered and I told you I wanted to cook. She pours herself coffee. The machine hisses and drips. She doesn't offer to make me a cup. My mother's flight lands at 2, she says. Darian's picking her up. Wonderful. She'll be here in time for dinner. Actually, Rhiannon sets her mug down. We're planning to have a family meeting before dinner around 4 o'clock. Just something casual to talk about the new year. Plans and things. Plans and things. That sounds nice, I say. She looks surprised that I'm not arguing. Great. So, we'll all gather in the living room at 4. You can take a break from cooking. Of course. She watches me for a long moment, trying to figure out what's different, trying to see the trap. But I just smile and go back to peeling potatoes. At noon, I shower, put on the emerald dress, the pearls Kelton's mother gave me, my good shoes. I look at myself in the mirror. Really look. Gray hair, smile lines, age spots on my hands. But my eyes are clear, sharp, ready. Here we go, Kelton. I whisper to the empty room. At 2:15, Darian leaves for the airport. Rianne disappears upstairs to freshen up. At 2:30, my phone buzzes. Quentin, on my way. ETA 425. Are you ready? Me. Ready. Quentin, remember you're in control. You have all the power here. They just don't know it yet. I set the phone down. Check the turkey. Perfect. Golden brown. Another hour and it'll be done. The table is set. Good china. Crystal glasses. Candles waiting to be lit. Everything looks perfect. Everything looks normal. At 3:45, I hear the front door open. Vivian's voice fills the hallway. Loud, confident, expensive. Rhiannon darling. The flight was dreadful. Crying babies the entire way. I don't go out to greet her. Just keep basting the turkey. Keep stirring the gravy. Footsteps approach the kitchen. Noreen. Vivian sweeps in wearing all white, a white pantsuit that probably cost more than my car. Something smells divine. It's Nain. I say quietly. What? My name. It's Nain, not Noreen. Her smile freezes for just a second, then recovers. Of course, my mistake. Nain, how are you, dear? I'm well, thank you. She looks around the kitchen at the flour on the counter, the dishes in the sink, the organized chaos of a meal being prepared. You're doing all this yourself, she sounds impressed, or maybe surprised. I always do. How industrious. Rhiannon appears behind her mother. Mom, let's go to the living room. Let Mother Nain finish cooking. Mother Nain, never just Nain. Always with that qualifier, that distance. They leave. I check my phone. 4:15, 10 minutes. I hear them talking in the living room. Darian's voice joins the mix. They're discussing something in low tones. Planning, preparing. At 4:20, Rhiannon calls out, Mother Nain, can you come to the living room, please? Family meeting time. One moment I call back. Just checking the turkey. I look at my phone. 422,423,424. The doorbell rings. I'll get it. I call out. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. I walk to the front door. Through the peephole, I see Quentin in his charcoal suit. Briefcase in hand. I open the door. Mrs. Cresswell, he nods. Professional, calm. Thank you for inviting me. Please come in. He steps inside. The cold December air follows him. So does the scent of winter and snow behind me. I hear movement, footsteps. Mom. Darian's voice, confused. Who? He appears in the hallway, sees Quentin. His face drains of color. Actually drains. Goes from healthy pink to paper white in seconds. Ran comes next. Then Vivian. They all stop, all stare. Mom, Darian says again. His voice sounds strangled. Who is this? I close the door. The sound echoes in the sudden silence. This is Quentin Merrick, I say. Each word comes out clear, strong. He's an attorney, estate planning specialist. Quentin extends his hand. Mr. Cresswell. Mrs. Cresswell. Mrs. Holbrook. Pleased to meet you. Nobody shakes his hand. The grandfather clock ticks. Once, twice, 3 times. An attorney. Rihanna's voice climbs higher. Mother Nain, what's going on? I smile. The same smile I've been practicing for weeks. Well, you wanted a family meeting, I say. So, let's have one. I gesture toward the living room. Shall we all sit down? Nobody moves. Mr. Merrick and I have been working together for 3 months, I continue. My voice doesn't shake. And since you've been planning to discuss important family matters today, I look directly at Darian. I thought it would be efficient to handle everything at once. Vivian finds her voice first. I don't understand what kind of family matters require an attorney. Quentin speaks before I can. The kind that involves significant assets, complicated family dynamics, and evidence of financial exploitation. The words land like bombs. Darian's hand grips the door frame. Rian backs up a step. Vivian's perfectly composed face shows the first crack of uncertainty. Exploitation? Rian's laugh sounds forced. That's ridiculous. We take care of Mother Nain. We live here to help her. Do you? Quentin asks mildly. Is that why you've stolen $5,847 from her bank account over the past 14 months? Silence. Complete total silence. Or why you forged her signature on a $40,000 loan against her house? Darian's face goes from white to gray some. Or why you've been hiding her mail and planning to force her into a nursing home so you can sell her property. Rian's mouth opens, closes, opens again, I think. Quentin sets his briefcase on the hall table. We should all sit down. This is going to take a while. And as they file into the living room, shocked, silent, trapped, I catch Quentin's eye. He gives me the smallest nod. We're ready. Let the reckoning begin. The living room has never felt this small. We're all sitting now. Me and Kelton's old armchair. Quentin in the chair beside me. Darian and Rian on the couch, pressed together like children caught stealing. Vivian perched on the ottoman, her white pantsuit already looking less pristine. Quentin opens his briefcase. The latches click. That sound, those two small clicks somehow feel louder than anything. Let's start with the bank account, Quentin says. He pulls out a folder, sets it on the coffee table. Mrs. Cresswell's account at First National Bank shows a pattern of unauthorized withdrawals beginning in October of last year. He spreads out printouts, rows and rows of highlighted transactions. Small amounts, $50 here, $70 there. Nothing large enough to trigger immediate concern. Very clever, actually. Darian stares at the papers like they might bite him. The withdrawals were made using a duplicate debit card. Quentin pulls out another sheet. A card that was ordered in July of last year using Mrs. Cresswell's information. A card that was mailed to this address. A card that Mrs. Cresswell never requested and never received. This is Rian starts. I'm not finished. Quentin's voice stays level, calm, but there's steel underneath. The total stolen amount is $5,847. That's felony theft in this state. Felony financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison. Vivian makes a small sound, almost a gasp. Then we have the loan. Quentin pulls out more papers. $40,000 borrowed against Mrs. Cresswell's property. The signature on the loan application. He holds up a photocopy. Is a forgery. We've had it analyzed. The handwriting doesn't match Ms. Cresswell's signature on any legal document from the past 40 years. Darian's hands are shaking now. I can see them trembling in his lap. Forgery is also a felony. Add an identity theft, fraud, and we're looking at multiple criminal charges. All of them serious. All of them carrying significant prison time. We didn't. Darian's voice cracks. Mom, I can explain. Can you? I hear myself say. The words come out harder than I planned. Explain stealing from me. Explain forging my signature. Explain planning to lock me in a nursing home. We weren't going to lock you. Phase 1, Establish Decline Narrative. I recite the words I've memorized. Phase 2, Medical Proxy. Phase 3, Asset Transfer. Phase 4, Placement by March 15th. Should I go on? His face goes blank with shock. How do I found your files, Darian, in the study? The study you thought I'd never search. Quentin pulls out more documents. The medical records obtained without authorization, HIPAA violation, the pre-filled transfer of deed forms, the medical power of attorney documents, the timeline showing premeditated financial exploitation. He spreads them across the coffee table like playing cards. And then Quentin reaches into his briefcase again. There's the surveillance footage. Rian's head snaps up. What surveillance? Mrs. Cresswell installed security cameras 3 weeks ago. video and audio recording. All perfectly legal in her own home. He pulls out a tablet, taps the screen. Suddenly, Rian's voice fills the room. She's not declining fast enough. If we push now, she'll fight it. On the screen, I watch myself lying on the couch. Watch Darian and Rihanna talking in the kitchen. Watch them plot. Quentin plays another clip. We make it clear that she can do this the easy way, or we can pursue a competency hearing. Another clip. Once we have the house, we won't need to skim anymore. Another. That loan I took out has a balloon payment coming due in March. If we don't get this house on the market soon, we're going to lose everything. Vivian stands up. Her face has gone pale beneath her makeup. Rian. Her voice shakes. Tell me this isn't true. Rian doesn't answer, just stares at the tablet, at her own recorded voice, at the evidence of everything she's done. We have hours of footage, Quentin says. Conversations, plans, admissions of theft and fraud and conspiracy. All recorded, all backed up to secure servers, all ready to be turned over to the police. The room is silent except for the tablet. Still playing, still showing their schemes. Darian finally looks at me. Really looks at me. Mom, tears start down his face. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you? My voice sounds cold even to my own ears. Are you sorry you did it or sorry you got caught? He flinches like I hit him. We needed the money, Rian says. Her voice has lost all its sweetness. Now she just sounds desperate. Darian's business failed. We have debt. We have bills. You have this huge house just sitting here. So, you decided to steal it. We were going to take care of you. Stonegate is a nice facility that I never wanted. That you were planning to force me into. I stand up. My knees don't shake. You weren't thinking about me. You were thinking about my bank account, my house, my money. That's not true. Stop lying. The words explode out of me. Just stop lying. I have everything on tape. I have every conversation, every plan, every scheme. I know exactly what you were going to do to me. Rian's mouth closes. The silence stretches. Then Vivian speaks. Rian, how could you? Mom, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. Vivian's voice is ice. You stole from this woman. You planned to rob her and lock her away and steal her home. My daughter is a thief. We were desperate. Then you should have asked for help, not. Vivian's voice breaks. Not this. Never this. She grabs her purse, her coat. Where are you going? Rian asks. To a hotel. I won't stay in a house where she can't even finish. Just heads for the door. Mom, wait. But Vivian is gone. The front door slams. Rian turns to Quentin. What happens now? Quentin closes his briefcase. That depends on Mrs. Cresswell. She can file criminal charges. As have you both arrested? Press for maximum penalties. Given the evidence, conviction is almost certain. Darian makes a choking sound. Or Quentin pauses. Or you can accept her terms. What terms? Rian whispers. I look at my son, at the man who used to be my little boy, the child I raised, the person I thought I knew. You repay every cent you stole, I say. Each word hurts. Every single dollar with interest. Darian nods frantically. Yes. Okay. We'll repay. You move out of this house immediately by January 1st. Rian's eyes go wide. Move out. Where are we supposed to? That's not my problem. You attend family therapy. I continue. Every week for as long as it takes. And maybe someday I'll consider forgiving you. Maybe. Mom, please. But here's what's not negotiable. I step closer. You never ever try to control me again. You never make decisions about my life without my permission. You never forge my signature. You never steal from me. You never lie to me. Never. Tears stream down Darian's face now. If you break any of these terms, any of them, Quentin files criminal charges immediately. No second chances, no warnings. You go to jail, both of you. Do you understand? Darian nods. Can't speak. Just nods. Do you understand? I repeat. Yes. He chokes out. Yes, I understand. Rian. She's crying too now. Makeup running. Perfect facade crumbling. I understand, she whispers. Then we're done here. I turn away. Can't look at them anymore. You have until January 1st. After that, I'm changing the locks. Quentin stands, gathers his papers. Darian and Rian just sit there, broken, defeated. Mrs. Cresswell? Quentin's voice is gentle. Are you all right? No, I'm not all right. My son tried to steal my life. My heart is shattered into 1,000 pieces. But I'm free. For the first time in months, I'm free. I will be. I say, and maybe eventually that will be true. 6 months later, I'm teaching Marcus how to make chocolate chip cookies. He's 6 years old with Darian's brown eyes and flour all over his face. Like this, Grandma? He holds up a misshapen ball of dough. Perfect. I help him place it on the baking sheet. You're a natural. Marcus beams. The kitchen smells like vanilla and butter and something that feels like hope. Darian sits at the table watching. He comes every Sunday now. Just him. No Rian. They divorced in March. She refused therapy, refused to change, refused everything. Last I heard, she moved back to California to live with Vivian. But Darian stayed, comes every week, brings Marcus, shows up for counseling, does the work. Mom? Darian's voice is quiet. Can I help with anything? You can get the milk from the fridge. He does. Sets it on the counter. Our hands don't touch, but they come close. It's progress. Small progress. Painful progress, but progress. The timer dings. I pull out a tray of golden brown cookies. Marcus dances in place, excited. Can I have one? Can I? They need to cool first. I ruffle his hair. 5 minutes. That's forever. Darian smiles. A real smile. The first real smile I've seen from him in months. You used to say the same thing when you were his age. I tell him. Did I? Every time. 5 minutes is forever, Mom. I set the cookies on the cooling rack. Some things don't change. He's quiet for a moment, then. Some things do, though. I look at him. Really look at him. He's lost weight. There are circles under his eyes. He works 2 jobs now. Paying back the money he stole, paying back the loan, trying to rebuild. It's hard. It should be hard. But he's doing it. Yeah, I say softly. Some things do. Marcus reaches for a cookie. I gently redirect his hand. 2 more minutes, sweetheart. Grandma, you're mean. Darian and I both laugh. The sound feels strange. Good. Strange. Like remembering how. Later, after cookies and milk, after Marcus runs to the backyard to play. Darian and I sit on the porch. Spring air carries the smell of lilacs. Kelton planted those lilacs 30 years ago. I'm moving into my own apartment next month. Darian says. A real one, 2 bedrooms, so Marcus can visit. That's good. It's not much, but it's mine. I'm paying for it myself. No loans, no shortcuts. I nod. Mom. He stops. Starts again. I know I can't fix what I did. I know saying sorry isn't enough, but I'm trying. Every day. I'm trying to be better. To be someone you can trust again. I know you are. Do you think? His voice breaks. Do you think you'll ever forgive me? Really forgive me? I watch Marcus chase a butterfly across the grass. Watch him laugh. Watch him be innocent and happy in 6. I'm working on it, I say honestly. Some days are easier than others. That's fair. We sit in silence for a while. It's not comfortable yet, but it's not terrible either. The therapist says, I was looking for shortcuts my whole life. Darian says, easy answers, quick fixes. She says, I never learned to handle hard things. So when the business failed, when money got tight, He stops. I just took the easiest path even though it meant hurting you. Do you understand why that was wrong? Yes. He looks at me. Not just wrong. Evil. What I did to you was evil, Mom. And I have to live with that. The word evil hangs between us, but he's not wrong. The difference between then and now, I say slowly, is that now you see it. Now you're facing it. Now you're trying to change. Is that enough? I don't know yet. I meet his eyes. Ask me again in a year or 5 years or 10. He nods, accepts it. Because what else can he do? Marcus runs back to the porch out of breath. Grandma, can we make more cookies next week? Of course we can. And can Dad come, too? I look at Darian. At my son who broke my heart and is slowly, painfully trying to mend it. Yes, I say. Dad can come, too. Marcus cheers, throws his arms around both of us. For just a moment, we're a family again. Broken, healing, but together. And maybe that's enough for now. Maybe that has to be enough. Because the alternative, losing him completely, losing Marcus, losing the possibility of redemption, that's worse. I learned something these past 6 months. I learned that you can love someone and still protect yourself from them. You can offer grace without offering blind trust. You can hope for healing without guaranteeing it. I learned that being kind doesn't mean being weak. That setting boundaries doesn't mean being cruel. That standing up for yourself doesn't mean standing alone. And I learned that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say, I see what you did. I won't forget it. But I'll give you the chance to prove you've changed. Just the chance, not the guarantee. The rest is up to them. If you've ever been made to feel invisible by the people who should see you most clearly. If you've ever been treated like a burden instead of a blessing. If you've ever had to fight for respect in your own home, your strength was there all along just waiting for you to claim it. To anyone walking through their own betrayal right now, carrying their own broken trust, wondering if standing up is worth the cost, you're not alone in this fight, and your voice still matters even when others try to silence it. What hit you hardest in this story? And if you were in my place, would you have given Darian a second chance or walked away completely? Don't stop here. Click the next video on your screen right now and watch another powerful story from our channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. And tell me in the comments what you would have done. I'll see you in the next.